one thing is like talking about greater sameness won't get you greater results. So many of you guys know my story, right? The reason why I got into this industry was to save my wife, right? So as Les Brown always says, you gotta stay hungry. So I'm always, when I go back and people ask me, what had made you so successful? Like, how can you do things so fast? And it's so important that you partner and collaborate with others that does things different than you. If you're not great at something, then you partner with somebody else, and whether you speak on stage together and you work together. So let's say if I'm great at speaking and being disruptive and exciting, get everybody fired up, then that's what I do. If somebody else is great with the systems and the processes and the contracts and all this stuff that the gurus don't tell us, how to approach a corporation and set up a certification for their executives so that when a new employee comes in, you go and you certify them on your system and you get a licensing fee. How can you set up your own certification program where you can certify other people? So now you have other people out there blowing up your brand. You see what I'm saying? Because I was certified by so many systems on this journey, and every single system that I was certified by, I saw these gaps. And I have to keep putting band-aids. Hiring a consultant to fix this, a consultant to fix that. But what about the fun? What about the webinar? And what about the copyright? Because I didn't want to use the same copy and the same funnel and the same PDF that the guys were giving, because they were giving that to everybody. And there was across the board every single certification that I took. And I was like, I'm just doing greater sameness here, and that wasn't giving me greater results. Because now, every single one of us are doing the same exact thing. At the end of the day, everybody were complaining, hey dude, we're not making any money. And then because I'm always, stand out around the crowd, I'm always challenging the gurus and the speakers with crazy questions. So now people start coming to me, hey, what are you doing differently? I'm investing myself, I'm trying different consultants, and I'm getting additional certifications, and I am flying to other countries to figure it out, what is working? How can we speed things up? Because I was either that or going back to corporate America, and I wasn't gonna go back to corporate America. That was a calling for me my entire life. When I told my grandma when I was 7 years old, and I was below her in a hammock, after my grandpa would abuse us or would do something to us, I would put a piece of furniture behind that door. And I would lay down with a little metal, looking like a sword that I call myself, and I would lay down on the floor behind her, and she would read me Les Brown quotes in Portuguese. And she would say, you shoot for the moon, son, and you're gonna land among the stars. And every day I would read more books than anybody else. And I would ask questions to the business owners. What would you do different if you're gonna start it over? What would you avoid doing? What strategies would you adopt and not adapt? And I kept journaling those things for years and years and years. And I was waiting. One day I always thought that a guru would come to Brazil and would rescue us. Or the government would change, and the corruption, or somebody, or maybe one of the cartel guys would change and become cool, and they would start buying us books and teaching us personal development. And that they never came. The gurus never came. And I told my grandma, I made her a promise, and I said, Grandma, one day I'll become that guy. One day I'll come back. One day I will lead by example. And I worked from age 7 to age 18. 11 years, every single day with my mom, so I could get a ticket to come to America. Every single day. And I tell people, how bad do you want what do you want?